Hello, are you being fooled by random? That's exactly right. Are you being fooled by random? Come back in just a few seconds and you'll understand what we're talking about. Well, that's a new one. Hi, I'm Wendy Sweet. This is Jonathan Davis. We are Carolina Capital Management. We are so glad to have you here today. We are missing our third party today.
Yeah, Bill's is he on a flight right now?
He is flying from Salt Lake City down to Fort Myers, Florida at this point. So he's up in the air. So if he's going over you, just give him a big old wave. Um, you are now on the Passive Wealth Show. We're so glad to have you here today. We do two things, right? So we lend money and we raise money. And there's two ways that you can get in touch with us on this real estate investor show. You can you can apply for an application for a loan at carolinahardmoney.com. Click on the borrower tab. That'll take you right to our application. There's some good information about our loans as well. Or if you are a passive accredited investor, you can click on the accredited tab and it will tell you all about our fund. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, wherever that may show up on your screen. And then also we do have a comment section over here where you can ask questions and we will do our best to answer them. If we can't, we'll make something up.
That's right. That's right. And hopefully you won't know the difference, but
that's exactly right. Also want to make sure to not forget about Wednesdays with Wendy. I love that little guy. So we've done for about, I guess it's going on 2 years now. I tithe my Wednesdays to giving back. People have graciously taught me over the past 20 years in this business, and I want to be able to share that with other people. So on Wednesdays, you're more than welcome to book a 30-minute time slot with me, and we can talk about anything in real estate you want to talk about. Whether you're brand new or whether you've been in it for a while. We're both, Jonathan and I, and Bill too, we're so blessed that we've got our fingers in so many different incredible mastermind groups and just a brain trust that we have to fall back on that I love to be able to share those people with you too. I've hooked a lot of people up on all kinds of different topics. So in fact, Jonathan is in Tampa, Florida right now at one of our very favorites, Collective Genius, right?
Yep. Been here since Monday. So it's been great. Learn a lot. You talk with a lot of guys and gals who know a lot of things, have different perspectives, and there is no shortage of learning. If you have ears and an open mind, you will learn something.
Awesome. And you're on our next segment, you're gonna talk more in depth about that, right?
Absolutely. Got some fun stuff about how are you measuring your success in your market, and also like personal stuff, because a lot of people are business owners, and you got to take care of yourself, and how do you do that, and how does taking care of yourself translate to your business?
That's right. God, family, work, and you really got to keep it in that perspective. So often we're completely upside down on that.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, we'll talk more about that on the next section.
Awesome. So I guess now would be a good time for us to address the breaking news. I feel like I should say this just in.
I've got the earpiece in, so
you do.
Yeah.
You are definitely dressed for the part. Have you looked up what's going on today?
I haven't, but I will say that I read an interesting article, and it was about the CEO of BlackRock, which, if you're unfamiliar with BlackRock, they're a $600 billion asset under management,
Just a little
something.
bit.
Yeah, I think it's a little over half a trillion. Um, so, but but one of the things he was saying is if he only had $100,000, he would invest in real estate today. Like,
Wow.
like that was the whole thing. Was now, then you come in, you're like, is he trying to do market manipulation because of his platform, or is he being, you know, honest and transparent, and just offering this advice to people? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Cough cough, Elon Musk. But
Isn't that the truth?
so yeah, but I mean, that's I think that's for me right now. I mean, I don't have any stats to give anyone off the cuff, but like, even where real estate is right now, there are deals, and I mean,
It's out there.
business is booming.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Yeah.
getting loans. There, people are finding them somewhere. So, one I've heard on the radio this morning coming in, they were talking about unemployment, and they actually said that in North and South Carolina, unemployment is down, which is good. It's not that far down, but it is down. But nationally, it's actually up. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's I I saw I saw a sign somewhere on the boardwalk, and it was like, please be patient with us. We try to hire help and servers, but a lot of people just don't want to work right now. I was like, dang, they really went for it.
Well, it's it's a fact, and it's just sad.
Mhm. Well, I mean, like we talk about this all the time. It's, incentive. When you want to incentivize the population, and you have control over whether to do that or not, like, you're if you give people money to be unproductive, there will be a section of that population that says, no, I still want to be productive. But there's going to be a big section as well. It's going to say, okay, I'll take it.
And I think what surprised me the most about this is that that section that says, "Okay, we'll take it," is so much larger than I thought it would be.
It is surprising. Yeah. I mean, but that opens up opportunities for other people. I mean, and then you couple with this unemployment nationally that's rising with, like, people can't find the talent that they need to fill the jobs. Like,
Right.
we have such like a talent discrepancy, or that we can't bridge, or that employers are having a hard time bridging. I mean, we're hiring right now for a key position, and it's tough. It's
Yeah.
really tough. It's tough to find that that person, because especially if you're using like LinkedIn or other search engines like that. I mean, are you getting quality candidates, or are you just getting people who are just checking off a box so they can keep getting their unemployment? I mean, I'm not trying to generalize people, but I've heard from a lot that seems to be the case with a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just scary. It's absolutely scary.
If you can't tell, up there in the corner, we're right there. That's
The
Eddie
fish?
Speed. That's Eddie
Oh,
Speed right there, standing on
oh,
the
it
balcony.
is? Oh, I see Eddie. Tell him Goober says duh. That's funny. I should text
Yeah.
him and say, I see you. That's funny. So the thing that you mentioned too is you said that he said if he had only $100,000, he would be investing in real estate. So that's the big question: is should you be investing in real estate? Are we at the top of the market? Is inflation going to continue? Do we see a crash in the future? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, will we have a correction crash? I mean, that's the question everyone's asking. Yes, we'll have to have a correction at some point. I mean, as markets rise, there has to be a stabilization point. Why they haven't stopped rising right now, I think are a few reasons. The Fed printed $4 trillion worth of cash.
Wish I
Um,
could.
so a lot of people have money right now. And then we have, I mentioned before, BlackRock. We have large REITs and hedge funds that are getting capital at next to no cost, and they're buying up real estate. I mean, BlackRock's in the, I think, negotiations right now to buy some rental company that owns 17,000 rental homes.
Wow.
So they're trying to purchase that up. I mean, so I don't see, as long as they continue that buy up, I don't see prices decreasing. Now they may stabilize, and they might still increase slightly, but I don't see them coming down for a while.
Yeah. And that's the big question is, I did use the term crash. I should have used correction like you did because, uh, you know, the crash, which, 208, everybody remember, 2008, everybody remembers that. But, I really don't think we're going to see a big, kaboom like we experienced in 2008, but we are going to see some kind of correction. And that, the question is how much of a correction are we going to see? I was talking with a guy on my Wednesdays with Wendy call yesterday. He is an investor out of California, and of course he's looking at properties outside of California because it's ridiculous. The pricing there is absolutely ridiculous. So he's looking in the
Yep.
Carolinas, and his statement to me was, "I'm looking for property that has um, strong appreciation, and it's okay for me to buy it now, even if it has a negative cash flow." And I did my best. I said, get your California thinking out of your head. Appreciation is the cherry on top. Don't buy a house for appreciation. But so many people are thinking that that's the way you should do this.
Yeah, when in my experience, when you gamble on appreciation, you're usually buying at the top of the market because you've seen the appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
You have you have this track record, this backlog of appreciation happening. You're like, oh man, this is great. It's never going to stop. Let me go ahead and buy. And then you buy, and then it stops. And now you have a negative cash flowing asset that is also underwater. Like that's not what you want. So you are right. I mean, in my opinion, you are right. Like you always want to have positive cash flow. Appreciation is definitely the cherry on top. I mean, if you stay in the property long enough, you will gain appreciation. Real estate in America is, historically appreciated. So that I think you're right. One thing before I get to the question that was just asked, I know everyone's talking about foreclosures.
Mm.
And, are we going to see a lot of foreclosures, or are they going to put a moratorium on it? I think they will continue to kick the can down. But the bigger thing is, like, hopefully, I don't think most homeowners are stupid. I hope not, but your property has just appreciated a lot. If you can't pay your mortgage, refinance, capture that equity. I think you're going to have a lot of people, they already have, and as we keep moving down the line, people will continue to do so, is to recapitalize with that equity,
Or
to
sell it.
or sell it. The issue is now, if you sell it, where do you go?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, people can capture that equity, whether through refinance, through HELOCs, through second mortgages, what have you. There's a lot of options out there for people. I mean, just like, my house in the last 18 months, I mean, it's appreciated like over $100,000. And it's like, that's insane. That's
Yeah.
a big bump, and now I'm in South Carolina. So $100,000 is a lot of money to us. It's not
Yeah.
like, in California, but yeah, it's like, I don't think we're going to see this. Like, everyone, we try to liken things back to the experiences that we've had.
Right.
And we try to liken this back to 2007 to 2009. It's like, no, it's not going to be that. We have better underwritten loans. We have the knowledge of what happened. And so now we're we're doing, banks and other mortgage entities are doing things to mitigate all that, to create that massive exodus of foreclosures.
Yeah. Yeah. And, if I were a person that were going into foreclosure and I'm worried about, I'm not going to have a place to live because I'm not going to be able to afford the mortgage payment or, or a much higher rent payment because mortgage is going to be a lot lower than rent. I would do my best to find an investor that would be willing to buy my property and lease it back to me at a discounted rate for at least the next 12 months, giving me time to get my stuff together so that I could find a better place to live. And
Yep.
as an investor, I'd take that deal all day long.
Yep.
If the price was right, I'd
Oh,
take
no,
that
you're
deal
right.
all day long.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many different ways around that. So the question that is posed is, how many people do you think will be underwater next year? Whew.
I don't think very many.
Yeah.
I don't. I think values will continue to rise through next year. It will stop. It will correct. It will decline. But I wouldn't feel comfortable saying in the next 12 months that's going to happen.
No, their appreciation is going to carry them across the threshold. The
Yeah.
people that I think that are going to, yeah, Don Harris is saying zero.
Yep.
The people that I think that are going to lose any money or get behind on their payments are just really poor money managers and are in denial with what's going on around them.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that has that kind of attitude, they're the ones that are going to lose. But you've got to be you got to be in a serious world of hurt to lose your house at this point.
Yeah, yeah. And we talked about appreciation. I was telling you yesterday that house, that or not flip, I guess it was a rental, that I did in Charlotte. Like,
Oh yeah.
so like if you went on Zillow before it was rehabbed, you're like, oh, it's it's going to be worth $110,000. I didn't spend much. Much, relatively speaking. I think $20,000 was everything it needed, and most of that was just a brand new HVAC. So I was like, oh, I might squeak out 150, but I'm really thinking probably 140 is what that value is going to
Those
come
were
in
the
at.
comps I pulled on it.
Yeah, that's
and I was
really,
pushing it.
yeah, and I just got the appraisal back yesterday, 181.
That's amazing.
Like 30,000 more than what I thought the high end
Wow.
was for it. So, and the comps were, all within 1 mile.
Now, can you get the rent to match that? That's the thing, is the values are going up so high, but rents are stuck, for 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to get the rents to come up and really match where the values of the house are?
Well, yeah, and the rent in that house, I think it's like $1,100. So
it's a 2-bedroom, right?
Yeah, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, really big yard, fenced in. It's nice, it's cute. But yeah, like the rents now, the rents don't really, if you're in the rents don't match the value. But that's okay because I'm in it a lot less than what that that 180,000. So it works out. But because the thing that shocked me was appraisals are backward facing. They're not using what's happening today. They're using
Right.
what happened yesterday.
Right.
And even using what happened yesterday, that value came in 30,000 more than I thought it would. So I'm blown away about the appreciation in our markets. And
Well,
that
here's
was in
another
Charlotte.
bump. Yeah, here's another good bump for you. It's a corner lot. The backyard is huge, so it has lots of road frontage with the backyard. And the city council just passed an ordinance saying that all the houses now can be multifamily, can be zoned multifamily. So now
I can put an EDU back there.
Yeah, you sure could.
Yeah. What is it? UAD.
It's ADU. An additional dwelling unit. You sure can. You sure can. So we are getting close on time. They're pushing us over here, and I should have been paying attention. So on our next show, we're talk a little bit about what we're going to talk about on our next show.
Yeah. So the next show, 2 things, because we didn't get to it today. Or this section, we're going to talk about Collective Genius is that's where I am right now. It's a national group of real estate investors, wholesalers, fix and flippers, buy to rent, lenders, and even service providers like data companies, stuff like that. A really good one that we'll talk about next will be like Audantic. That's a really great data company. And then also, if we have time, we're going to talk a little bit about a book that was recommended to me by Bill Mann. He's a great investor, great human being. It's called Fooled by Randomness. Now, I haven't finished the book. I plan to finish it on my flight back home this afternoon. But what I've read so far is it's very enlightening.
Give us a little.
Yeah. So Fooled by Randomness. I mean, there's so much that happens in our world that is completely outside of our control. We have no way to choose it. It just happens. And so often, if we can string enough of these random things that happen that benefit us, we convince ourselves that's us. We're really good at that. Like, wow, I'm really good. I mean, in a
like buying a house that increased up to 181,000.
It was nothing I did. That was completely random. Completely random. But like in this system, and he uses kind of like the Monte Carlo system, and there's so many outcomes that are possible. Like if you run the numbers enough, a Warren Buffett will pop out of this system every generation. Like it has to, because there's so many possibilities. And not to take away from Warren Buffett, I think he's a brilliant man, but there's probably a lot of his success that's built on just randomness.
Thoughtful randomness. For sure. Thoughtful. That's awesome. I thank you for even bringing that up and sharing with us. I'm looking forward to seeing that on the next show. Yeah. You have spent a good 27 minutes listening to us, and we appreciate it. Again, we are with Carolina Capital Management. If you are a borrower, you can go to carolinahardmoney.com and click on the borrower tab. Fill out an application there. If you're a passive investor, same website, pick the accredited investor tab. We'd love to share our wealth with you and help you build it. That's for sure. Also, don't forget about Wednesdays with Wendy. We'd love to have you sign up. And don't forget to tell everybody about our show. Hit the like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, all those good things you need to do. And we will see you in about 30 more minutes, right?
That's right.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.